Ramaji, Sip Bliko, Sip Parvatiyama, Sip Dasi, Sip Ashok, Sip Rekha, Sip Kumar Swami, Sip Kundan, Sip Sagai, Sip Kavita, Sip Motkula Anand, Sip Girish. And there are many others, as I say, who are always coming in the last moment before the signal gets going. Sip Dasi, I see Dasi entering the call. Today we have decided to continue on the important subject of the mind. If you notice that yesterday we had a very deep, we tried to say, yesterday's topic was, let us try to define the mind. And if you, those of you who remember, you know that we ended with the statement, the mind doesn't exist. And today we are going to ask the question, does the mind actually exist? Does the mind actually exist? So with that note, I would like you all of you who have got thoughts of yesterday, not mind of yesterday. I only want thoughts of yesterday. All of you who have got some thoughts from yesterday's discussion and you would like to take it forward, you would like to crystallize this thought. Let us get into crystallizing the thought as to, does the mind actually exist? So who would like to start on whether you believe, does the mind actually exist in you, or there is no mind, or there is a mind? Does it exist? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us start. Yogini. We have Yogini, Samatma, Sunil Chittal, Bliko, and Rumataji in that order. Yogini.
Shivam, actually, there is no mind. As we have learned, it is just a bundle of thoughts. But on spiritual part, like the religion being the kindergarten to go towards high school, same way to understand spirituality, we use the term mind.
You use the
term mind.
But why should you use the term mind? Because you need thought, but you don't need mind. Why do you want to use the word mind?
If it is one thought, it is okay. But when the thoughts, there are too many thoughts, and that's why we call it bundle of thoughts. So at that time,
but
we
is
are
that good?
not. Sorry?
Is that good, Yogini? Is it good to have that too many thoughts? Is it a good thing?
No, it is harming. It is harming us.
Then why do you want to acknowledge? Why are you acknowledging it? Why are you accepting mind?
We are just using that term so that we understand what we are talking about. Like,
but why do you? So do you need mind, or do you just need intellectual thought?
An intellectual thought.
So why you want to accept the mind? Because today the question is, does the mind exist? So if you say yes, my mind exists, that means you are welcoming the mind. That means you are acknowledging the mind. That means you are giving life to the rascal, the monkey. Do you want the monkey?
Sorry, sir. I'm just using the word mind to understand about that. What can I say?
Enlightenment.
Yes.
No, but why do you want to use mind? Why can't you use intellect to understand enlightenment? Why do you want to use mind?
Intellect comes and defeats the mind.
No, intellect is what can take individual thoughts and make you discriminate and make you realize the truth and be enlightened. This is intellect. We spoke Viveka Chudaman. We spoke or not?
Yes.
Why do you want the monkey mind? I don't understand. Why are you insisting that you want to use the word mind? So think about it. I want you to come back after everybody speaks. Samatma. Yes, Samatma.
Shivoham.
Shivoham.
A mind is really an illusion. It is created because of the collection of uncontrolled thoughts. Correct. And because we are living with a mask of ignorance, this mind appears real to us. But in reality,
my question today, so does the mind, where you are concerned, Samatma, does the mind actually exist?
In
where
reality,
you are concerned,
the mind does not exist.
So the mind does
does-
not exist.
But it appears to be real.
How can it appear when it doesn't exist?
Because of our ignorance, we feel it is a mind which is ruling us. Because to some extent, we allow the mind to rule us.
So would you like the mind to exist where Samatma is concerned? Would you like Samatma's mind to exist?
I want the intellect to exist. I want the intellect to rule me.
Intellect is Viveka Chudamani. It is a most treasure of a human being. Nobody is doubting the importance of the intellect and the need of the intellect. We are not doubting it. But today the question, because yesterday we already tried to define the mind and we could not find the mind. Then we said the mind is just a bundle of thoughts. It appears to be, it is not, but it's an illusion. It appears to be. Then along with creates ego, along with mind and ego, it becomes me, it creates karma, it carries karma, it is reborn. So does the mind actually exist where you are concerned?
No, mind doesn't exist.
So I'm leaving you with a question and you will come back to me, please. You and Yogini, I'm leaving you all with, I left a different question to Yogini with your Samatma. So if the mind doesn't exist where you are concerned, how would you like your life to be? I mean, how would you like to acknowledge the mind? So just think about it. We'll go on to Sunil Chittan, then Bliko, and then Rumataji. Sunil Chittan.
Guruji.
Namaskar
I would
to you,
like to
Sunil.
humbly submit a totally a different point of view.
Yes, sir.
Basically, what we say is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Now,
Correct.
if you really decipher the word Mithya, it is an illusion, but it is a temporary existence. So what
Correct.
we see, our face and all also are ephemeral, temporary
Yeah.
existence. So this is
Correct.
a cross because our Pratyaksha can see it, Pratyaksha. Then there is something called Paroksha, by which we know by inference. Now your
Correct.
subtle body, that is known as Antakarana, it has got 4 aspects, right? Man, Buddhi,
Yes,
Chitta,
man, Buddhi,
Ahankar.
Chitta, Ahankar.
Now in
Yeah.
this, Chitta and Buddhi are relatively stable. But because of interaction of the SIP on the intellect, the ego is born and naturally the mind is born. So in principle, everything is mithya, everything is illusion. But one is at the very gross level, which our senses can detect. Others is at the aparoksha level, at the paroksha level, by we know by inference. And that is then we have as a human body, we have this mind and ego, which is very prominent and it can create karma. No other jiva, including devas, any other yonis, our shastra says they are all bhoga yonis. They are not capable of generating any karma. They are only.
But what are therefore, where are you getting to?
I'm driving at that it is a human intellect which has to understand this. There is a formidable force called mind and ego, which has to
Yes.
be cut asunder. Now, these are the two things. Moment we cut asunder, we immediately go into aparoksha anubhuti. So, calling it mind and ego doesn't exist. That way, nothing exists except SIP exists. So, we have to understand the subtlety of the whole thing and use our intellect and use our discipline of magic, Pirlu, and current right, to destroy this mind.
Yeah, Sunil, I would request you to take one step back, Sunil. I'm just requesting you to take one step back. See, Sunil, everything is mithya. I agree with you. Now I want you to contemplate, because I'm coming back to you in a few minutes. I want you to contemplate. There is no doubt that the thought itself is mithya. The thought itself is mithya. But is mind mithya or is mind mithya of mithya?
Is mithya of mithya.
Therefore, it is a double mithya.
Yes.
It is not a single mithya.
Yeah, it exactly. Yesterday we concluded saying it is the ego which creates all this problem.
Whether it is
me is a twin.
Descartes, René Descartes, he said, no, I think, therefore I am.
Yes.
And otherwise you said, I am, therefore I think. So there are two different statements. What? Because you are so advanced, you're such a highly realized person.
No, I am learning from you.
Sunil, Chidanand, I want, because this is a very important aspect of our enlightenment. Everything is mithya, that point we agree. Nobody has a doubt. Everything in this world, because we come, we go, nothing is real. Everything is Leela, Maya. Nobody can deny it. It is a fact. Death is certain. Body will die. Relationships will end. I come with nothing. I go with nothing. Even a fool cannot dispute all these things. Today we are trying to get to the point, does the mind actually exist? And this, Sunil, is a turning point of enlightenment.
Yes,
That's why I have permitted this discussion to come into a second day. Does the mind actually exist? Or are we unnecessarily creating the illusory mind and giving it power?
Exactly. That is what Maya is doing it. That's why only those who are
No,
on the
don't
path
blame
of
Maya.
Advaita,
No,
those
don't blame Maya.
90% of the world is not even aware. There is something called that mind is an illusion.
Yeah, so because they don't even know whether the mind thoughts come from brain. Scientists are not yet sure whether the thought comes from brain or mind. There's no scientist is able to prove that you get thoughts from the brain or the mind. So
Studies have just started now.
So I don't know, you are trying to say something, whether you are still saying that or you're changing, I don't know. I don't know whether...
What I'm trying to say is, though mind is an illusion, mind and ego are illusion, they are so formidable force that unless you use your intellect to understand and remove this illusion, it's like a candle, unless it comes in front of a sun, it doesn't go away.
So again, I'm putting the point back to you. Does the mind actually exist?
Actually, it doesn't exist, but it seems to exist.
Yeah, of course it seems to exist. Who denies that?
Yes.
We don't deny that. So let us get to, thank you, Sunil, but I think we have not yet come to a conclusion. So today, my dear friends, I hope in a matter of next 10, 15, 20 minutes, like I told you, every day's call must add value. And I'm going to go to Bliko and Rumataji. Every day's call is a learning. And I tell you, I myself don't know what the call is. You think I prepare the call? I don't prepare the call. SIP is in charge. Do you think I know what I'm going to talk to you? Oh, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you. Because I just plug. I put the plug. And when I put the plug, the current flows. I don't talk to you. I'm telling you, I'm just a mouthpiece. And so if you ask me at the end of today, what is going to be the conclusion? I don't know. We will know. Together we will know. Together we will know. But we will know. We will realize. So Bliko. Thank you, Sunil. I'm still waiting for you to think. Bliko, Rumataji, and then Atmatray. Bliko.
Sir, you are breaking.
Namaskar.
Sound is breaking.
Are you okay? So Sudeep, audio video okay?
Now okay.
Thank you. Bliko. Thank you. Bliko. Shiva.
So it is very clear that mind doesn't exist. But like sun, I compare sun with the consciousness. And when the cloud comes, seems that it looks like there is no sun because of the
very
cloud.
Good.
Same thing, these thoughts are clouding the intellect and doesn't permit that light of consciousness. And that's why my intellect doesn't work or function get stopped for a while. When the thoughts are gone, again the consciousness lights on and you get all the clarity.
Lovely example. So can you get a little bit more deeper into this, Bliko? What do you mean? You're saying the sun is, so therefore the sun, we can compare the sun like the soul. The sun is a spark of unique life in us. From the sunshine is consciousness. And this consciousness gets covered by dark clouds, many clouds. And these clouds are you can either call the clouds thoughts, or together, all the clouds together appear as the mind.
Yeah.
Okay, up to now, have I understood you correctly, what you're trying to say?
Correct.
So therefore, do these clouds, do the mind, the thoughts, do they actually exist or not?
They appear, like Sunil Chittal says, it appears and it always appear unless you get the clarity of the consciousness, that you are consciousness, you are not affected with any clouds, because there is no cloud exists. You are Satchit Anand. If you
But
are
clouds
connected,
exist. Nah.
if you are
But clouds
connected,
exist.
cloud exists only when you are disconnected from the consciousness. As long as you are connected with the divine, with the power, like very good name is Jivatma. Why it is Jivatma, not only Jiv? Because Jivatma is a connected entity. So a spark of unique life, you can say, soul. So that disconnection is always appear when it is disconnected, Jivatma, then Jiv is exist, that all mithya things will starts, and the mind and
So, Bliko,
everything will.
therefore, I'm again asking you, because today we have come, I am very clear. I don't want to lose focus on the subject, the question that has come from the divine. I don't give the question. For me, I am connected to the divine gives me the question. And the divine has given me the question, does the mind actually exist? Bliko, I put the question to you. Does the mind actually exist?
Mind actually doesn't exist, but we are getting affected by, in ignorance, we are getting affected by the thoughts.
Okay,
And
good. Let us, thank you, Bliko. Ru Mataji, Atmatre, then I'd like to put this together. Ru Mataji.
Guruji Pranam Shivoham.
Pranam
Guruji.
Mataji. Bataiye, Mataji.
Guruji, I am reminded of a story which you have told us earlier, that one king was very disturbed by the mind and he was like a hell sometimes in his mind. So he went to a saint. He told him that I am very much upset and I am troubled by the mind. So the saint told, you come tomorrow and don't forget to bring your mind with you. So we went home and he told his queen, I have a problem like this, and I went to Sadhu. He told me to bring the mind with, I have to carry my mind with me tomorrow. So Rani told him, don't worry, you go in the morning. There will don't worry, sleep well and go tomorrow in the morning. So he was asked to come at 5 o'clock. So as according to his time, he reached there, and that saint told, wait for a little bit, I'm just coming, you keep your mind ready. So he went, Sadhu came after half an hour and he told, yes, how are you? And what is the problem? Where is your mind? So he said, I haven't brought my mind with you because I could not find it. So he said, then when there is no mind, then why you have a problem? So that story is so, has got power to make us understand that mind doesn't exist. And one thing is there, it is our own creation. Whenever it appears according to our permission. Otherwise, it doesn't exist.
So your first story is very good, Ru Mataji, but your second part is quite controversial. Are you saying that the mind appears with our permission, or it appears even without our permission?
Because Guruji, I feel like this. Okay, I have told like this because when we control with our intelligence, it may be uninvited, but when we control with our intelligence, then it goes away.
So my question to you, can you control the mind?
Guruji, to some extent.
Matlab
If thought comes in our mind and we are determined not to temper the thought, then if we try to remove it, it goes away. But if we temper, then many thoughts will come connected to that thing and make us worse.
Romadaji, what you are saying is leading to a very profound answer. I'm waiting for Atmatrai, and then I want to get to this. See, we have to be clear. This mind, it appears. And what is the mind? The mind is not a thought. Thought is different, mind is different. But when there are many thoughts, you can ask Sudeep, he will tell you. When there are many thoughts, one after the other, then Sudeep says, I have lost in my mind. My mind has taken control of my life. Now, did Sudeep actually let the mind take control? No, Sudeep said, I did not give permission for the mind to be formed. But damn it, the mind came and it appeared and it took charge of me. Now, only when you get back to that state of consciousness where the mind settles down. It's like a ripple in the lake, right? You drop a pebble. So many ripples, so many thoughts, those many thoughts steal the piece of the lake. Now suddenly when the ripples end, there are no thoughts, there is no mind, peace is restored. Because there is no mind. In that state, when do we experience, my dear friends, when do we experience that state of deep sleep? I slept so well. No dream. I slept so beautifully. You get up from a deep sleep, my dear friends. Haven't you experienced? Sometimes I get up after 10 minutes of a sleep and it makes me feel I've slept for 6 hours. How many of you have felt that sometimes? You sleep for 10 minutes. Only 10 minutes, I'm telling you. How you feel? You feel better than you have slept for 5-6 hours. Because that was dreamless sleep. That was deep sleep. Now that is the state where there is no mind. I'm just trying to take you all to that state where there is no mind. Atmatraya. And we are trying to get, today I don't want this discussion to go to third day. So I want to come some conclusion and no confusion. Atmatraya.
Okay, Shivam sir.
Shivam sir.
Sir, today I realized that thoughts are like a water in the river. They are flowing one by one.
Yes, sir.
But actually, there is no mind. Yesterday I have said that mind is invisible. But today I have tried to find it. But
okay.
I can't find.
So today you spent a lot of time today trying to find the mind?
Sometimes, not full day. But sometimes I search for mind. But I get blank, no thoughts position for some time. And
so tell us more. Tell us more. When you tried to find the mind, what happened? It just mind blanks out? There were no thoughts at all? What did you find?
Thoughts get reduced. And then I get a stage of blankness. It means there was no mind. Otherwise, I can find something.
So look at what Atmatraya is saying. Atmatraya is saying, when I was trying to find the mind, I spent so much time in trying to find the mind, but ultimately I could not find. Where is the mind? My dear friends, it is very deep, this question today. Don't miss today's question. I have 2 typed points because I want, before we conclude, Sunil Chittal is also there. Bliss is saying, you are completely right, because yesterday I changed all my thoughts to others. My mind was not there. Only few thoughts according at what I'm doing. So Bliss, what do you mean? Yes, yesterday I changed all my thoughts to others. What did you do? How did you change your thoughts to others?
Because, hi Shram, first.
Shivoham.
I was on a ride of bike and all my thoughts I've changed. I was looking the paysage and the landscape. I was totally in utter mood. And it's now right at this moment and I've realized mind does not exist. Only few thoughts.
Only thought exists.
Yeah.
This is something very deep and we need to realize this. All of us on this call, we must realize thought exists, but mind does not exist. When we permit the thoughts to become the mind, we will suffer. You know why we suffer? Because we have permitted thoughts to become a mind. We have created the monkey. We have created the rascal. Now, having created the mind has taken charge of our life. And the mind is now dictating thoughts, bombarding us with thoughts, because you accepted the mind. Why did you accept the mind? Because you cannot stop the mind, but you can stop a thought. You can stop thought, but you cannot stop mind. So therefore, it is very important to stop the mind from existing. You don't let the mind exist thought after thought after thought after thought after. No, you are destroyed. The mind will bombard you with 50 thoughts a minute. Do you want that? Do you want 50 thoughts per minute? No, you will be destroyed. If you are going to stop thought, like you can stop talking, stop walking, stop eating, stop thinking, you can. Provided from this moment onwards, you make up your conviction, there is no mind. You have to eliminate the word mind from your life. Can you eliminate mind from your life? Can you live with consciousness? Can you live with intellect? Can you intercept thought? Can you accept thought one by one? This is a big challenge that we have got. Girish says, mind exists only in a dream. And the dream happens in the waking state. Mind exists in the dream of the waking state. So, so Girish, you have put me in a tipsy. Okay, so the mind exists in a dream, which means that it's not real. The mind comes, the mind appears. My dear friends, are you going to let your life be ruined by the mind? Remember this, the mind has an intention to destroy us. The mind has an intention to steal our peace. The mind has an intention to stop our enlightenment. The mind, along with the ego, becomes the me and creates karma. The mind stops our liberation, our process of pirilu, purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. The mind does not agree. The mind does not want, because the moment you are letting the mind exist, the mind will kill you. The mind will destroy you. So I don't know how many of you from today, how many of you are going to say, there is no mind? I don't know how many of you have the courage. I don't know how many of you have the conviction. I don't know how many of you, see, many of you, you love your mind. Oh, I love my mind. I love my mind. Let it come and let it play tabla on my head and let it take me for a ride. Because the mind sometimes creates fantasy, a foolish fantasy. You know, the mind creates desires. The mind creates your worldly, illusory passions, and it kills you.
Guruji,
So
let me tell you frankly that there's absolutely no mind. Thoughts are from the senses, which can be controlled.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Dasi, there is time when if you sit down quietly, Dasi, with all your senses shut off, is it necessary that the mind will be shut, or it may still think?
It will still think, but you have to apply your consciousness to stop it, to think correctly.
But the power is much stronger if your senses are first under control. This is what you're trying to say, correct?
Yes, yes.
If your eyes, your nose, your ears, your taste, and your skin is under your control, it is called sama dhamma. Dasi, so if you sit in that state of control and your senses are, these 5 senses are controlled, you're already a master in a big way.
Yes.
Now the point is, Dasi, even at that state, there will be thought. Correct, Dasi?
Yeah, right.
If you let that thought become the mind, then are you okay, or then you're in trouble?
No, the thought that comes to your mind, my mind, the word will not use, because there's no mind. The thought that comes to you you know, is a if it is worldly thoughts, take it out. With godly
Correct.
thoughts, you entertain.
How do you do it?
How you do it? How you do it is from the point of view of through consciousness.
Correct. Through your consciousness and through the intellect. In your consciousness, the intellect comes alive. That's it. So your intellect is
Exactly.
there, and your intellect tells you this thought is a good thought, and I do it. And this thought is a wrong thought, I shoot it down.
Correct.
If you're able to do that, then there is the mind, Dasi.
There is no mind.
Correct. Now, if you reach that state where there is no mind, then you become the master.
Okay, you bless me.
Dasi, don't just put the monkey on my head. Don't say, Dasi, you bless yourself. You just don't put the monkey on my.
I'm practicing all the time, but yes.
You know it. You have said it so beautifully today. You have said it. You have summarized it better than me. I could not have summarized it so beautifully. You have summarized it so well. You said we have to tame the monkey mind. To tame the monkey mind, these are the 5 animals that the eyes. Remember we spoke. I don't remember. The eyes are like 2 hawks.
Correct.
The ears are like 2 elephant ears. Then
Absolutely.
the feet are like two rabbits which are running here and there. And then the tongue is like a snake. So we have to calm this lady who was, I gave the story one of these days. We have to calm all these animals that are in us. And when we calm these animals, then comes the most important of all. That so-called mind, which doesn't exist. But it wants to think thoughts, Dasi. And Dasi, the only 2 things. If you are in consciousness, if your intellect is alive, the mind will not dare come up.
You're right.
But if you don't have consciousness, Dasi, if you don't have consciousness and your intellect is not active, then what happens?
Then you're bombarded with thoughts.
And that means who comes alive?
The mind comes alive.
The mind comes alive. You got it right. You got it very clearly.
Yes,
If the mind comes alive, we are destroyed, my dear friends.
That's true.
If any of you who want to accept the mind, be prepared for disaster. I am telling you, be prepared for disaster from today. If somebody tells you you have a mind, don't feel shy. Tell the mind, I don't have a mind. I am mindless. I don't have mind. They'll say you don't have buddhi. No, I have buddhi. I have intellect. Don't confuse. I have intelligence, but I don't have mind. Let me see what Sunil Chittal has to say and Ashok Nichani before we close. Sunil Chittal, yes, lovely. I think we have come to a great realization. Sunil Chittal.
I was about to say the same thing. We have intellect and we have chitta, but we don't have ego and mind. Now both coexist. Yeah, I cannot say I have ego, no mind, but I don't have ego. They both coexist, and moment they coexist, the mind comes. So that is where I use the word English word Sanskrit word is mithya, existence. Like for example, there are no horns on the rabbit's head. So that means that the horn on the rabbit head doesn't exist. But here, the temporary existence comes as mind, and if you don't use the intellect and you're not in consciousness, then you cannot destroy the mind. So we give rise to this illusory dream, as Chris said. It is a dream, it is a waking dream, but it forms. If you don't allow it to form, then definitely, because it's an illusion, it has to go today or tomorrow.
So Sunil, are you saying that the mind exists, or it is our choice?
It is our choice. It creates. It gets created by lack of consciousness and lack of intelligence.
But if you have got strong willpower, strong consciousness,
then it is not to be seen. It is a shadow. In front of a light, there is no shadow doesn't exist.
So like Dasi said, if we have control of our senses, and after controlling of our senses, if we take charge of the mind through our consciousness and intellect, then where is the mind?
No, it doesn't exist. Because it doesn't exist, the illusion cannot come only. The shadow cannot come only.
It is up to us. Do we want the mind to exist and be destroyed? Or do we want to destroy the mind and exist? Did you get this quote? It's a new quote that has come to me now. Did you get the quote? Please capture.
One has to
Do
destroy
you
the mind.
do you want the mind to exist and be destroyed? Or do you want to destroy the mind and exist? We have two choices. Do you want the, what did I say? Do you want
The mind to exist.
Do you want the mind to exist and be destroyed? Or do you want to destroy the mind and then exist with bliss and peace? It is very simple. Ashok Nichak.
Shivam Sirji.
Shivam Ashok.
Sirji,
So
I was
does the mind
to
exist, Ashok?
No, mind does not exist, Sirji.
Are you sure? You don't have mind?
100% sure, Sirji.
You will tell everybody in your building, I don't have mind.
Yeah, definitely, Sirji, I don't have mind.
Okay, so what are you trying to say? Tell me before I questioned you.
My answer was what Dasiji told. Those
Yeah.
5 senses.
Yeah.
It is 100% correct what I feel, because it is our senses that create these problems in the mind, like past, present, and future. Like yesterday, what we saw, what we heard, then the people tell us, please keep this in mind. Tomorrow we'll talk. Sirji, we should not keep past as past, forget it. Future, nothing is sure. Present, be in the now. Use your intellect and decide. Keep the thoughts away.
So don't keep in the mind. What did
factory.
we mean when we said keep in the mind? What did we mean? We use the word keep in the
All
mind.
these
Not wrong.
thoughts.
Yeah, we should
Keep in
have
the
said
thought. Those thoughts we should not keep.
No, we should register some things in the memory. Memory is not bad.
Memory.
Provided your memory is used to record positive things. Don't record what happened,
Right,
what
sir.
fight you had with somebody 5 years back, and your memory keeps on repeating that fight 5 years back. You had a fight with somebody. That is not a good memory.
Right, sir.
Okay. So I think
Right.
we are
Thank you.
all coming to a conclusion, very deep conclusion. There is no mind. In this call, we want to do away with the word mind. We want to keep memory is okay. Positive memory. We'll call it positive memory. Positive. And there is no mind and ego are the two negative words. Me. Today we have to drop me. M-E. We have to drop it. There is no mind. There is no ego. Because the moment you say I, there is no I. I am not I. I am neti tat tvamasi. I am not I. I am thee. I am not me. I am thee. I am not me. Me. I am thee. So this is what we need to realize. Ru, you want to say something?
Yes, Shivam, Guruji. Guruji, often I have heard people telling remain in mindfulness. So that is something different.
Mindfulness actually means mind emptiness.
Awareness.
Mindful means become mindful. Become mindful means become aware. But the word is misleading. The word makes it look like mind should be full. No. When you are in mindfulness, the mind is empty. But my dear Ru, stop using this word mindfulness. Stop using the word mind. The mind does not exist. How many of you want to end the call by saying there is no mind? How many of you want to say?
There is no mind, Guruji. There are only thoughts, and thoughts can be controlled only if we want.
Okay, so who else wants to say there is no mind? Who wants to say it today? There is no mind. Shivam.
There's no mind.
There is no mind. Rekha Parvani. Who else?
AiR, there is no mind.
Gautam says there is no mind.
Sir. Shivam, sir. There is no mind.
There is no mind. Who else wants to say there is no mind?
Absolutely no
No
mind.
mind.
Dasi Budrani said absolutely no mind. Then
No mind.
100%.
Absolutely no mind.
No mind.
No mind.
No mind.
So I think, how many of you want to say still your mind exists? Who wants to say there is a mind? Anybody? I want to deal with you now. Who wants to say, of course there is a mind? Who wants to say that? Anybody?
Nobody
on the
on
call.
this call.
Anybody on this call?
I want to say something.
Yes, sir.
Kill the negative thoughts, before that negative thoughts kills you, there is no mind. And I like that. Do you want the mind to exist before and be destroyed, or you want to destroy the mind and exist?
So therefore we have a choice. And I want all of you to realize this, that whenever you let your mind take charge of your life, you were destroyed. I'm sure you have an example. Whenever you let your mind take charge, you have been destroyed. Now,
Many examples are there.
Yeah, many. I have examples. When my mind has taken charge of my life, I have been destroyed. But I think it is time. Today, last 2 calls has transformed this group. So this group, today we are dropping one word from our vocabulary. From today onwards, we are not going to talk about mind. Because the mind does not exist.
So, AiR, how do we, then if we want to say something about a thought, then what do we say?
Talk about thought. Okay. And if you are letting your mind exist, then let me know your mind is existing, so that I know that I have to perform a surgery.
Yes.
Guruji, I have got one question.
Yes, please.
Can you drop only the mind, or your mind and ego both has to be dropped simultaneously?
When you drop the mind, the ego automatically drops.
Yes.
The ego cannot hang up. Ego cannot hang on its own. When there is no mind, think about it. Yes. Sunil, don't think with your mind. Think with your consciousness. When there are no thoughts, when the mind ceases to exist, what is the ego? The ego disappears. There is no ego. With folded hands, I bow down to your patient hearing. I will see you tomorrow at 8.